Hi, everybody. Adam Savage in my cave. Today, we're adding a piece to my collection. Sometimes it feels ridiculous to call my hoarding habit a collection. But I feel strongly that it is a collection, that I'm gathering pieces as a documentation. You can call it a pathology. I call it a hobby. That's one for a t-shirt. When I was a kid, we had analog phones, dial phones. I am nostalgic for those days, specifically because talking on the phone sucks today. That's a rant for an entire nother time. I have a huge rant about old telephones and why they were so much better. But I grew up under the Bell system, which was AT&T. And it existed until the early 80s when the US government broke it up because it was way too of an integrated vertical monopoly. It was the OG, AT&T and the Bell system was the OG vertically integrated monopoly. Vertically integrated monopolies are anathema to democracy. I believe that. I believe monopolies. We don't even have to qualify. Monopolies are anathema to democracy. As we can currently see, again, not a rant I'm going to get into on this one. Regulatory capture is a scourge and all of that stuff. But I am complaining about monopolistic power because I am just about to praise one of its side effects, which is when Bell Systems and later it became AT&T was in its heyday, which is like from 1895 until about 1980, about 85 years. They built the entire phone infrastructure. They laid all the copper. They put up all the poles. They climbed those poles and repaired them. And the linemen, the people that worked those lines, worked for decades. It was a great union job. And because Bell was so ubiquitous, companies like Craftsman and Klein Tools, both for much of this century, makers of excellent tools. I'm not disparaging them now necessarily. I'm just saying that during this time, Klein Tools and Craftsman were makers of two of the best American brands. They made a whole bunch of tools specifically for Bell Systems. Now, I'm sad that I'm revealing this because no one, as far as I can tell, is collecting the Bell Systems stuff. It's all over eBay and Etsy, and there's some beautiful stuff out there to go collect. I myself have been slowly assembling a complete lineman's set, which would be all the tools that a telephone line repair person would have on their belt. And I'm really specifically trying to get all the correct tools, and I'm trying to make sure they're all stamped Bell Systems. This will be a completely other video. Why am I talking about it now? Because in my search, I came across this amazing object, and I just wanted to share that object with you today. So after all of that 4 minutes of preamble, we're talking about a piece today that has nothing to do with the other collection, but everything to do with it in a certain manner. So I was looking on eBay for all sorts of. When I go off on a project like this, I start off in the sort of the unstructured approach. So Bell tools, Bell Systems tools, AT&T Bell Systems tools, telephone repairman, telephone repair, right? All these kind of searches, and I start throwing things in my cart, and then I go back and I sort my cart. I throw more things in my cart. I go back and I sort my cart. Because we've all had the experience of finding the thing we want, buying it now on eBay, and then scrolling one page later and finding it at half that price. Do we all have that experience? I have that experience a lot. my impatience overrides my thrifty brain. But anyway, I came across this piece, this amazing piece. So there were tool buckets that repair people brought up with them and clipped to their belts. And I've got a couple of those made by Klein Tools with Bell Systems stamped on it. But here I found a custom one. This is completely and utterly and in every way handmade. It has a wooden bottom, long split along the grain, it looks like. Inside, some pieces of, let's just double check this. I think this is 1/8 inch. Yeah, that's exactly 1/8 inch. We have some pieces of 1/8 inch, looks to me like 6061 standard aircraft aluminum. And then we've got some extra little bits, like a cutoff of some 1-inch square steel tube and another tube. And then here's a bit of angle iron. Is it angle iron? No, that's another bit of aluminum tube screwed to this for some small screwdrivers. Plus this exterior tube also for something important, and a complete Allen set. Listen, I'm not sure I possess a complete Allen set here in the cave, but over, 70 years that this thing has been in existence or more, the Allen set's still there. Okay, I replaced this one. Full disclosure. T. Divitore. Divittore. If this is a relative of yours, I would love to know. Oh, right. And then there's this extra stuff going on where there's this piece of brass rail. Oh, wow. No, it's brass. Okay, let us unpack this. This is clearly this is brass angle, right? We call it angle iron whenever we're talking about metals that have an L. I don't know why we call them all angle iron, but we do. So this is some brass angle iron. I know. See how weird that is? That has been absolutely customed. So you can see here the remnants of here you can see the 4 holes used to drill this. You can see a couple holes here. You can see file marks. This was, whoever had this spent a lot of time making it right. And I really cathect with this because of my toolboxes. Links to my toolbox descriptions and stories about my toolboxes in the description. I said description twice. But this is right after my heart. Customizing your own personal rig to fit your exact needs. This is really, really, I can't get over how much I love this. I have scoured this for more writing and found none. Interestingly enough, it seems this compartment is less deep than these compartments, so something must have stood up there. But then also, there's a lot of refinement in this thing. These are copper rivets. They're well flattened, even down on the lower insides. This was lovingly constructed by someone who was more than a passing enthusiast with leather, less than a master craftsman, let's say. If it sounds like I'm casting aspersions, I'm only describing myself at almost everything I know. There's so much beauty in objects like this to me. Obviously there's narrative and there's purpose and there's a life lived specifically. But to be honest, I want to use this as a road kit. I think the next time I go on a remote shoot, I may fill this up and bring it with me. It is still in excellent condition, ready to be used. And if there's one thing I think about tools, It's that they should be used. This is why I love the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Armor Conservation Lab, run by our friends, and we've made many visits there. And they're one of the few museums in the world whose acquisitions within armor include tools that get used. Like, to a museum conservator, the idea of receiving something and then using it is anathema to, I'm using the word anathema a bunch today, sorry about that, is the opposite of what the conservator's job should be. The job of conservation is to receive the object and freeze it at the moment you received it. This is the sort of prevailing wisdom right now. And it doesn't mean lock it in amber. It means prevent any further decay. And because we are so much more able to rescue and resuscitate materials now, given the advancements in material science, this conservation has reached a fairly high and refined form. And so, tools that come in, they just make sure there's no wood rot and they're not going to rust, and then they take good care of them. But at the Met, they use them. They use them for repairing the ancient armor in their collection, which is right and proper. So I think that using this is one of the best ways to pay it homage, and it will also be part of, why am I collecting alignment set? You might have been wondering this from the whole very, very, very beginning. What's sort of like, I realized a few years ago that my love of spacesuits is identical or comes from the same exact place as my love of armor. My fascination is with humans' ability to make our own hermit crab shells to serve our needs, even down to these t-shirts and shirts. Like, all of our clothes demonstrate our ability to attune to our environment. And in extreme environments, we have built extreme machines to protect ourselves. These include things like suits of armor and high pressure diving suits and space suits. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, right. So why am I collecting alignment set? Because it's a bat belt. That's the thing, is for me, the toolbox has always been the bat belt, which is, I am leaving the safety of my confines. I am bringing with me my ability to do things in the field. How much utility can I bring with me, and how compact can I make that utility? This is like a lifelong journey for me on all sorts of fronts. I love making mobile toolkits. I outfitted my Land Cruiser within an inch of its life. Yeah, so all this is a long way of saying this is why this speaks to me and my brain. Again, if you are a relative, or if this is your last name and this might be a relative of yours, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Dude, look at that. Look at that. Makes me so happy. The moment I saw it, I gasped. I didn't pay much for this. It was really a reasonable deal. I'm so happy to add it here to the Caves roster. Thanks for joining me, you guys. See you next time.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. We have some brand new merch available at the store. A dog's age ago, I mean like 2018, 2019, this wonderful graphic designer named Brian Otterer reached out to us and sent us some stickers. He has a design firm called Dash 3 Dots, and we loved his stickers so much we wanted to sell them on the merch store. Well, he updated them with our new logo, and we've got Adam in the Martian spacesuit sticker. We've got Adam in the shuttle suit sticker. We've got Adam in the Apollo suit sticker. And my personal favorite, Adam in the alien spacesuit sticker. Get yours now. Tested-store.com. Hey!